It's a fresh morning. It's November 2nd. I'm on the northern tip of Marrowstone Island at the Fort Flagler State Park, and actually at the very end of Marrowstone Point, where I'm going to be dropping down onto the beach and exploring the beach today. There's restricted access up here, U.S. property, United States government property, no trespassing. It's a fisheries research center, so when you come to the end of the road, you'll have to stop before you enter this property with the old Fort Flagler. Some other buildings and structures on the point here where the lighthouse is beyond there. But there is a parking area right down here, really close to the beach. And so I'll be able to drop down the beach momentarily and start following the beach. I'm going to come up, go a little bit to the north and drop around the point and be able to go on the northern end of Mirrorstone Island, which looks out on the Puget Sound, and to the west will be the Port Townsend area. But that'll be a great opportunity to explore this beach today. It's kind of windy out here this morning, but it's this Marrowstone Point at the very tip of Fort Flagler area on Marrowstone Island. You come around the point here, there's some old structures here for Fort Flagler. May have been a lighthouse, it may have been some kind of the weather station right here on the point, an old structure there, but then it looks like the beach kind of comes to an abrupt end where you have a lot of just large, there's a big old eagle just took off. A lot of rock have been dropped down here to cut down the erosion, but I'll see if I can get around it and find the beach on the other side. So I'm going to be looking for whatever I can find, like agates or nice rocks, or there'll probably be a little bit of sea glass down here. There's a nice, well-worn piece. It's clear, and that doesn't have any color to it, but I'm going to be looking for any type of sea glass I can find out here. I'm sure there'll be some pieces. Has a lot of history of people living out here on Fort Flagler on this point, and over the years, the last 100 years or so. But we'll see what we can find. I've just come around the point and walked down the little ways. There's still a lot of rock, erosion rock they put up there to keep it from eroding the point. But as you come down, it's about 7.3 tide right now. And so as you drop down beyond the point, I'm beginning to head west. It looks like a little bit of the sandy beach begins to become exposed. So anything below about 7.3, 7.2, you'll start having more beach. And looks like a little bit more beach is actually available farther down to the west. And so I'm going to continue walking so I can find some rock beds and see what we can find, maybe some sea glass or agates and nice rocks down there on Mirrorstone Beach. A quarter of a mile down to the west from the point that I started at Marrowstone Point. And there's a lot of rocks, a lot of gravel beds out here, a lot of beautiful rocks. I haven't found any agates yet, but a little bit of sea glass and lots of beautiful quartz and jasper and lots of other basalt rocks. Here's an access point that I did find down onto the beach, which a little trail makes its way on up into the upper headlands up there. There's probably several trails that can bring you in if you park in the middle part of the park and you come in from some of the where some of the batteries are, where the old gun emplacements were to protect the Puget Sound. Other than that, all the way down, heading east back to where I came from, it's a bluff from about 30 to about 60 to 80 feet high all the way down. So you won't have any other access point than the point. And right here, there is a little trail that drops down the beach about a quarter of a mile down. So that'll give you an idea how to get down here. I'm gonna keep on looking, going down the beach, just enjoying the rock beds. So I've been walking for about an hour or so down Marrowstone Beach out here looking for agates. I didn't find lots of really beautiful quartz and all kinds of some really beautiful rocks and some jasper, but I looked down and here is an amazing piece of aqua sea glass. That's about 1.25 inches across, really thick, just sitting out here. Haven't found hardly any. I've found a few white pieces of sea glass, but look at that piece. That is amazing. After about an hour looking out here. This is Marrowstone Beach on Marrowstone Island. Right below the bluff here is Fort Flagler, right up above me here. And it's a beautiful day to be out for a walk. It's actually November 2nd. You can look straight across. You can see Port Townsend right across where the ferries come and go. Point Wilson where the lighthouse is. Way out there to the distance. Nice fog bank over the parts of Port Townsend. So I just picked up that nice aqua piece of sea glass a few moments ago, walked down about another 20 feet. Here's my first agate of the day. There it is. You can see there's a piece of quartz. Quartz is light colored, but it's not translucent. But the agate, or chalcedony, is extremely translucent. So that definitely is an agate. Formed inside of a host volcanic rock and it's been tumbled. It's still kind of jagged, so being out here on the beach a long time, agates are extremely hard in the substance. 9 would be a diamond on the hardness scale, and agates are about a 7, and then quartz and basalt and all the other rounded rocks down here are all very rounded, but it still keeps its jagged edges because it's so hard. Anyway, that's an agate. So I've been making my way down the beach for a while and mainly been picking up just lots of really nice looking colored rocks I might be able to put in my tumbler. Lots of quartz, all kinds of some quartz mixed in some other interesting stuff. I'm seeing green, I think jasper there. Lots of other red jasper, and just beautiful stuff. But actually I did find another piece of sea glass right here. So it's out here. There's not much of it, but there's a little bit of it, and a lot of the pieces I'm finding are actually highly processed, jewelry quality, some thick pieces, but really smoothed out. So they've been out here a long time. So you can find lots of stuff on the beach out here. And I've been picking up too many rocks. Looking through all the rock beds, I've been picking up a lot of nice looking rocks, lots of beautiful pieces, but now and then there's always sea glass out here, and you'll find it. There's another really nice aqua piece right there. Yeah, that'll look really good. A collection of some of the rocks and actually I've been picking up quite a bit of interesting seashells too, but mainly what I found out here is I found like one agate today, and there's a lot of rock beds, so I'm sure there's a lot of other agates that you could find out here, but specifically I've been able to find only that one agate right there in the front, and a little bit of sea glass, that nice big aqua, and another smaller aqua, a lot of whites, and so not as prevalent as over at Glass Beach at Port Townsend, which is right across the water here, but you can find a little bit. So it's been a nice day. It's about noon. I'm going to head back. I've been out here about 3.5, 4 hours. I've come down the beach about 1.5 miles, and a little bit further, another half a mile down, is the Fort Flagler State Park. There's a campground area over there, so that's probably a good place. I'll go and do one little video before I leave the peninsula here, the island here, to show you where that is. But it's been a nice walk, about 1.5 miles. I've come all the way down the beach. Some interesting concrete blocks out here, but lots of rock beds all the way down, and really if you get out here below 6 feet on the tide level, 5 feet, 4 feet, anything, you'll have a lot of rock beds that'll be available you can pick through out here. I have concerns about hiking on beaches. Sometimes you ask questions on my videos about what's it like if it's hard for people who have difficult or knee problems. This is about 6.6 right now, the tide level, and so anything up around 8 or 9 is going to cover the beach, so you have to be careful with that. And but here at 6.6, you see you have a whole area of sand you can walk on. It's very smooth and easy, or there's all this rock gravel. So I'm kind of showing you the difference. If you don't mind walking on the rocks and gravel, as it becomes higher, you'll be forced up at a higher tides up onto the sand, but it still is a good area to hike. So just thought I'd let you know, so be aware of it. If you have any difficulty getting around, this is a fairly easy beach to get access to. And I'll show you the other access point on the far west in a minute. Heading back, I am almost back to the parking area where my truck is, and there's one more agate I just found right there. A nice little yellowish agate. It's not carnelians, that would be darker and more amber, but that's a nice yellowish agate. Yep. Those coming out here to hike on the area around Fort Flagler or the beach down below, it illustrates some of the routes you can go. I actually made my way over here toward Marrowstone Point, and that's where I started, and I came around and stayed on the beach all the way down to within about a half a mile of the other area down here, in the Bluff Trail and the western camping area. And so this is the area I'm going to go look at in a moment, but this kind of illustrates you can go on a loop trail. They call it the Bluff Trail, which goes up above on the upper bluff above the beach, and then you can drop back down onto the beach and make a whole loop of it. So it's a really fun day. So it's about 2 miles one way, so it's maybe about 4 miles round trip, thereabouts. And it's probably actually about 1.5 miles. It says the Bluff Trail is 1.5, so that'll help me out. I was a little bit overestimating it, so that's a good place to go and hike and look for things on the beach and have a nice day. So I came down here to the western campground area, the Fort Flagler campground. It's a state park. And in order to get into the state park here, I need to tell everyone you make sure you have your discovery passes, or you have to pay a $10 day use fee. So in order to get in, if you have the annual pass for the Washington State Discovery Pass, you can get in for free. So here's the beach down here, and it actually has a spit that goes out a little bit further to the west. Lots of rocks, and from here it's about 1.5 miles to, I'm estimating, all the way to the point down there, about 2 miles from this direction if you want to hike in from here. A lot easier access from this direction, but whatever you want to do, if you want to start from down there, those old buildings at the Fort Flagler, the point down there, either direction you can work your way in onto the beach. I hope this has been helpful, and it was really a great day. I spent about 4 hours out there, maybe 5, and I found lots of beautiful rocks and a few agates and some sea glass and lots of seashells, but it was just a beautiful beach to hike on, really easy access, and a very, very straight and beautiful area. Especially the vistas, the view you have of Mount Baker off in the distance, the Cascade Mountains. There is a actual ferry coming across from the Keystone Ferry over to Port Townsend. You can see it out there in the water, making its way over to Port Townsend, which is every 2 hours they have a ferry that comes across, and that's Port Townsend across there. Down to the mill, and there's the Olympic Mountains off to the far west. Beautiful area. If you'd like more information about the Fort Flagler State Park, directions how to find it out on Marrowstone Island, and directions to this beach, Mirrorstone Beach, please go to my pnwbeachcombing.com, my website, pnwbeachcombing.com, and you'll see a field report all about it. Have a great time.